Oh, here we go. There's a massive list on this one. Everyone get your pen and paper. Hey, mate, can you get a pen and paper? There's so many problems with this. Why is that? Because it's been sent to the wreckers all its life and it's never been to us. No, just joking. It's actually not too bad. It has been everywhere else but here. So this is our first check on it. It's a 120, so it's probably about 08, 09. I can't remember, to be honest. I'd have to check it again. And it was about 230K, somewhere around there. Okay, the good news is the injectors were replaced at about 170, so that's not bad at all. The bad news is it was done by someone other than someone we recommend, so we've seen some external problems like clamps missing and stuff like that. Let's just have a quick look under the vehicle. One of the things the clients come along for is after wheel bearings, replacing those as prevention. That would be wise, but he is also after lower control arms, and these are very expensive. So we're going to have a good look at these bushes here and try and unsell him some control arms. Let's have a look. See that little bit of flex in there? You know, that is not a completely ripped up, gone bush. In my opinion, that would be a waste of time and money to replace that arm or that bush. Let's have a look at this one. These are the ones that split through, right? Now, you can see the gap. I'll just explain it. See the gap on the right in the middle of the picture, and there's a gap on the left in the middle of the picture. And you can see the rubber right there in the middle of the picture now. It's probably about 1 inch long. And see the split, it starts at the right-hand side there. And it's coming through towards the left, and it's about 40% split. There's a little split at the left side just starting as well. So they're about 10%. So they're about 50% split. They're not too bad yet. You could replace them, but there's no point doing things too soon because it's just sooner you got to replace them again next time, right? So as I said, I'm going to try and unsell this one over this side. Little split in on the left. Right side, not too bad. So I'm not concerned about these bushes. Let me see, is this one hitting speed humps under brakes and whatever will cause damage like this? Just take it easy on the speed humps, the bumps, the bends and all that sort of thing. And that will look after these bushes. It's going to save you money, right? It's going to save you fuel. It's going to save you money, brakes, tyres. It's going to save everything. He's got the bash plates off for us so we can have a good look around. He also was talking about tie rod ends. There is definitely play in this tie rod end. Hey mate, can you give this a quick wobble? Sorry, just to interrupt you there. Just so we can demonstrate for the video. I'll be quiet and have a listen for a minute. Hear that knocking noise? Take my word for it, it's coming from the passenger side in a rack end. So what we would replace is, that's not the tie rod end, that's not this one. There's no movement there. It's up here in this ball joint up here, just a bit of wear and tear. It's unlikely that it'll come loose because it's a 120. They've got lock rings and stuff, but we'd check that before we replaced it. On the 150s, they can come loose. They only use Loctite, and they can come loose. So you want to check that before you order those to replace it because there's probably nothing wrong with them, or could be nothing wrong with them. We're going to have a good look around here now. So we're going to spend a few minutes. The usual oil leak thing up there, not leaking, all right. Let's have a look around bottom of the turbo, the usual. See, it's covered in oil, but it's not a big leak or anything, nothing to worry about. Okay, let's just work our way down the vehicle. Pan, the auto pan looks original, like it hasn't been off, so we'll check for any missing bolts, just in case, because that can happen, you know, because over time the gaskets do kind of squash. You can see the, you know. All right, so we're just having a look in. I mean, you know, this vehicle travels a lot. You can see the colour, you know. Maybe not as much as mine. Well, I hope not. I hope you know. But look, it does it, you know, it's copped a little bit of damage here and a little bit of damage here. It does a bit of touring and travelling, that sort of thing. See the grass and the balance weight on the tail shaft. It's a Grunde. It's had the airbags replaced recently. So there you go. All right, let's just start from the back because the front got boring. There's nothing really to see at the back here other than, yes, the vehicle gets used. You can tell by the gravel spray. Oh, look, that's interesting. A side pipe. Okay. I don't know why you do that or what the need of that was, but I'm sure there was a purpose for it. Anyway, we'll find out more about that afterwards. Whoa, rear brake pads quite low, to be quite honest. They're down to about 20%. It is time to replace the rear brake pads. Oh yeah, same on this side too. Without even taking the wheels off, I can see that outer pad, the backing plate. Between it and the disc, there is not much. I'll try and demonstrate a bit better. Get that right in there. Right, see where the backing plate is, left side of the picture. And then you can see the rotor, that's what's moving up and down, and there's not much lining left between it. So rear brake pad's definitely due right now. Okay. That fuel filler hose, I'm guessing it's probably never been changed, so I'd be changing it as prevention, unless somebody knows that it's been changed or it feels soft. If it feels soft, it's probably been changed. Oh, it's rock hard. You squeezed it, did you? Okay, there you go. We'll give it a squeeze in a minute. Looks like someone's put some grease on the slip joint, so that's good. I'd certainly say it hasn't been over-greased. It could probably do with a little bit more on the maintenance side there, a little bit more mess at 230,000 Ks, I would have imagined, more like what we're seeing here at this front one. Right, you kind of need a little bit of mess to know that it's been, we see the greases, it's been lubricated. Well, this inspection's pretty boring for a 230,000 K outback travel vehicle that we've never seen before. You can see the rock spray on the side steps, you know, that it's been used. It's pretty good. So we'll have a bit more of a look around. Look at this. The old original Grande shockers, they're still there, the originals. Look at that. See the bolt heads? See what I mean? They're still in pretty good condition. So it doesn't get used quite as much as ours. You saw our 2019 if you've been watching on both our YouTube channels. That bolt was a lot more damaged than that inside 60,000 Ks. So that's how you tell which one's done the most outback corrugated dirt roads sort of thing. How much wear is he? He's got the KO2s again. He knows what's reliable in the outback. All right, you can see they're in good condition as well. We're back to the back again. Look, the muffler, the usual, fairly good condition. Don't change the exhaust system. Transfer case is good. The usual, that tiniest little bit of a sweat on the transfer case, could be from the grease, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's not worth actioning a repair. That's my whole point with these. That's why, you know, if you want to do that little, there's not meant to be oil in there, we know that, okay? So we've mentioned that in other videos, but you know, you can, if you just wanted to tighten. This could do with a clean up. You can see there's a lot of residual oily, messy kind of stuff around. It could do with a good cleanup, right? But it's not bad. It just could do with a good cleanup. So I think we'll, let's have a look at the front pads. They're about 50% worn, so they're probably all right for now, okay? Front suspension, he's upgraded the probably KTFR 101s or something, just to take some of the weight of the bull bar and brush bars and the winch and all that sort of thing. But on the standard suspension is really risky actually. The reason it's risky, see the lower end here, right? You've got all this weight, bull bars, brush bars, everything, heavy duty spring. Just, can you look how weak and feeble that coilover looks? I mean, it's okay when you've got a standard vehicle, but as soon as you put extra weight there and you're going to hammer it in the outback a lot, it's just luck. If these don't, see the little uprights here, they're only, I don't know, I can't remember the measurement, 14, 15, 16 mil, a lot smaller than the aftermarket ones. Now they're good quality struts and that, so keep them if you're staying on road, and you can use genuine. They're not badly priced, to be quite honest, and the bushes are one of the best you can see. As old as they are, they're not mushroomed and squashed out at 230,000 Ks, are they? So why should your aftermarket brands do that, you know? If they do, they're just nowhere near as good as the Toyota engineering and the OEM suppliers. But the other problem is, see where the upright, see that section right there, where it comes down, see it's just got a little weld on the outside and a little weld, you know, inside and outside. It doesn't actually, it's not a 360-degree weld. There's not much strength in that. They can break away from a lot of getting hammered, if you know what I mean. So something to think about. Now, so on this vehicle, okay, you know, you can do, I say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So this inner rack end, it's got no play, so I wouldn't touch it. This end here, yep, change the inner rack end. Yep, change your wheel bearings as prevention because they could let you down. And you know what we say about the lower arms? I say 250K, and what a coincidence that getting close to 250K, but they don't need replacing yet, okay? So I would say this one's got a bit more splittage though, so, but that could stay the same for another 50,000 K. So to be honest, from knowing what I know and what I see, I would be reluctant to change the arms yet, maybe soon. But, you know, I suppose if you've got it in the budget and the time's good for you, then that's when you do it when you can afford to, because the maintenance on the vehicle is much cheaper than an upgrade, and it always pays to do it, the priorities, what you need to do, the maintenance when you can afford to, and always do the maintenance, right? Like we've said in other videos, fix the heart before the Botox. So, you know, you need to get the mechanical reliable, get that before you start putting in nice stereos or whatever you're going to do, you know, shiny bull bars or whatever, you know. So anyway, nothing to see here. So we'll have a bit of a look around under the bonnet, because there's nothing. I've been looking around the whole time, trying to give you some information. Normal sweat around the crank sensor O-ring. You can't buy the O-rings separately. You've got to buy the whole sensor, so you just got to source an aftermarket one, or don't worry about that. You just give that a wash every now and then. It's just the lightest sweat you've ever seen. You could even pop it out and just put a little bit of RTV on the O-ring. You could just clean it up and put some moly coat on the O-ring, you know. Just the thing with O-rings, they really need to be centered, so installation is very important. If someone's had it out and they put it in and that's a little bit twisted to one side, when they tighten it up, it's not central. It puts more pressure on one side of the O-ring and not enough on the other. So O-rings really need to be central, so think about that when you're reinstalling things. See, look at that, an inspection video, and you've got a real tech tip on O-ring installation included in there. So it's what pays to just watch the whole video. There's nothing to see here. Let's check under the bonnet. Look around under the bonnet. You know me. Factory puts all their wiring in corrugated split tubing, so the grey one at the top. So let's confirm that. Over to the battery. That's factory wiring. As soon as it leaves the battery, corrugated split tubing, right? So as soon as we leave a battery, we should have corrugated split tubing, because there's a reason they do it, and that is there's a lot of heat going on in behind this engine here. If those, lucky for this one, the wires aren't hanging down, but it only takes for it to rub on the end of, say, so there's a bolt in behind there. If you can see right in the middle of the picture, see there's a stud where the wiring loom clip's pushed on. That could be rubbing on a positive wire there. Rub, 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 rub. And what happens when it shorts out? Well, hopefully it just blows the fuse, right? So nothing to worry about perhaps. But I just like to have my wiring so I don't need to have a fuse. So I don't have to worry. But we have a fuse anyway. You want to take it off and have a look?
I see something.
Go on, mate, take it off. Go on, take the
clamps are put in the wrong place.
I'll keep looking around. You take the intercooler cover off quickly. The cover's coming off so we can see a bit more. Someone's done the injectors. Someone around Clayton. Doesn't matter. Whatever the name of the place was, they're all as good or as bad as each other, right? You work out if it's good or bad or inconsistent. Let's just have a look here first. See the flat plate there? There's meant to be one behind. They're exactly the same as each other. There's two nuts there retaining the three pipes, right? And the one behind, when they've taken the pipes off, it's fallen down or something. There's a whole long story behind it. You need to watch all the information in our inject information. But look, the clamps are meant to be there. There's another one underneath. Yep, that's there. Another one further up. Oh, it's somewhere there.
Place.
It's in the wrong place. On the wrong place, is it?
Right pipe. It's meant to be further back.
Let me see. Yeah. It's meant to be. Yeah. Oh my God, I couldn't tell because the intercooler's in the way. So
it's probably the cooler.
Anyway, look, they've just re-engineered. It's something different, but it's just putting a bit of pressure on the pipes. Anyway, whatever. Look, the map filter looks like they haven't replaced it. It's got oil leaking one way or another. It looks like it's probably cracked. You know, all those things that they should know, but they haven't got time to watch our training videos to make sure they don't make these mistakes. Okay, so the wiring, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of extra accessories and stuff here as well. The battery looks alright. I'm not excited about the wiring. It just needs to be a bit more neat and tidy for me, but it's not the worst we've seen. See the wire just rubbing there on the positive wires. I don't like it. Anyway, look, there's not a lot to see here, but the point is, if they've done that with the clamps and they can't do simple things like get the clamps back how they're meant to be, what have they done deeper within the job? That's the unknown. Hopefully it's all right. Do we just hope that it's okay, fingers crossed, and hope that it's different to all the other vehicles we've seen when we pull it apart and go, oh, look at this, they haven't cleaned the seats, they haven't torqued it up, this and that. Do we just hope that it's okay? Or, probably get lucky. Should be all right. But is that what you want? Should be all right. So just think carefully before you go wherever you go. And I'm just going to put a final message in here before we go, because we're about done here. We are fully booked and then closed, taking a break, some R&R, and we'll be back on deck Tuesday the 26th of April. So hit me then. Thanks for watching. Smash the like button if you learnt something. There's not a lot to see here. This is testament to Toyotas and the 200,000 Ks of outback travel. It's been hammered around, and the bloody car's good, isn't it? Any issues that are here is all mainly caused by aftermarket accessories, fitting, and people that have worked on the vehicle and not done the correct procedures, and that's why we say it's been sent to the wreckers all its life, because that's what, look where they installed the winch here. I mean, we can rework that pipe. Right, that pipe, we reworked this pipe when you put a winch in, but that's a massive bend to that pipe, you know. That's crazy. I've never seen one bent that much. You know, it's normally a gentle rework it in, but they are quite flexible, so not a big deal, but that's heavy duty. Anyway, we're out of here. See ya.